and we're off. So we first start in the spaceship when we get to this button, and then now we go to the Mafia guy, who then sucks us out of our spaceship and onto the town. So as we start out, we want to grab 2 yarn to make a sprint hat. And what the sprint hat allows us to do is what it says, sprints, and we use it for a lot of movement tech.
Yeah, we use it pretty much through the whole game. And it allows us to do quite a bunch of cool tricks, like sprint double jumps, double sprint jumps, and such. Spy having a little bit of trouble there grabbing the rope, but still got a pretty decent time.
The Suar is slightly ahead by about a second or so. And now we head into Act 3 of this chapter, where we pick up 4 yarn and create another hat, which will be used throughout the rest of the run as well. One thing we want to do in the early parts of this run is to pick up these green little crystal things called ponds, and we use that to unlock levels throughout the run. We want 100 by a certain time, so we try to pick up as many as we can in this level and a few others. So as they get this cutscene, they craft a hat during the cutscene so that we can save some time, so we don't have to watch the hat animation while everything else is playing.
So this part of the level is pretty much an auto-scroller. We just need to scare the Mafia guy. And this part is actually kind of random because he can drop either up to 3 to 5 pawns each time you scare him. So we usually want him to drop 5.
Yeah, the more the better.
Yeah, because like John said, we're gonna use the pawns later to unlock a certain level on this world.
Yeah, I think Spy is about like half a second ahead right now, so it's a very close race still.
Yeah. It's very close so far.
Naturally, it's the beginning of the run, so a lot of players are very well versed within the few levels due to resetting a lot.
Oh, Suar. Getting stuck in that edge.
Yeah, the thing with this game is that some of the ledges are like really detrimental. You can bonk into them even though they're like a pixel or 2 off the ground, where you can like slightly hit them and you'll like lose momentum or stuff. Now, this is one of the reasons why we pick up the Bro hat. The first 2 Mafia men you just hit them 6 times in total, but the next 2 they get this kind of red rage effect and you won't be able to hit them with your umbrella. So we use the Bro hat instead of jumping on their head, and it does an extra damage as well. And now this is another auto-scrolling sort of part of the level. You just wait until this guy stops throwing barrels.
See if girl can handle this barrel.
Oh.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah. So what I did is he held the bro, but then he let go of the trigger too early. So then he didn't actually get the bro potion out. So he lost a bit of time. He had to recharge the brewer again. And then what happened there is that we skipped the cutscene. So this game actually has a skip or skippable cutscenes options from the game itself, but some of them we have to exit the hub through.
Yeah, I think it's only 2 cutscenes that we need to skip by doing that. One in Barabara and one in this level.
Yeah. So this level we have to save Moustache Girl. You see they got a double hit there. If you line yourself up precisely enough, you can hit both of the Mafia men with 1 hit. And now we're into the Mafia HQ. So for this level we have to make our way to the Mafia boss. We solve a few puzzles and then we have a boss fight. So I was having a bit of troubles here and there. You're losing a few seconds bit by bit, which they do add up, especially in this run when movement is so important. You want to explain this in here?
Yeah, sure. So what both players are doing here is just skipping a little fight, and also a cutscene that triggers when you try to get into, when you try to go to the Mafia boss. So by climbing up on that door, I guess it's a door, you can skip both of those and save like around 5 seconds. And this fight is not particularly hard, but the hardest thing about this is that you can be a bad RNG in this fight. This fight looking pretty good.
Yeah, both
actually both players.
Yeah. So the RNG in this level is the amount of sandbag attacks he throws at you, and also the amount of angry yells he does at you. So after a sandbag attack you won't be able to hit him, so it wastes time. So you'd like him to do as little sandbag attacks as possible, so you can advance him into the next phase as soon as possible.
Was that a 3 cycle for both?
Yes, looks like it.
So, okay, this is a quick kill for the Mafia boss. It looks like they're trying to do something complicated, but really it's just holding the brewer hat attack and just not doing anything else.
Yeah, the Mafia guy will attempt to push you away, but then you get sucked into the Mafia ball, and then he just decides to jump off.
As long as you're on the right, like fully on the right, touching the wall and holding the brewer hat attack, he will die. So we're gonna see a slight change of route here, I think, because I think Spy does Suar's first.
Does Suar do Suar's first or Golden Bolt? I think it is Suar's.
I think he does Suar's first.
Yeah. You can interchange the time rift and
both players are
Golden
gonna
Bolt.
do it. It seems.
Yes, we won't get any decent here.
Oh, Suar! That is
Soft
so
lock.
unfortunate. Yeah, he just soft locked. Okay, that's really unfortunate. When trying to climb that pipe, for some reason, sometimes she will climb it instead of getting into it, and you can soft lock in that place. He just got stuck. The only way to get out of there is going back to hub.
The Spy takes about 20-second lead or so.
Yeah.
So these time rifts are kind of like the secret levels in Super Mario Sunshine. There's a lot of platforming, a lot of these swirly objects that you might be used to seeing. And all of them are generally pretty fast, so we like to do them. Aviator hat. It's rare to see that.
Yeah. Ooh, Spy going with TSJ.
So what they do there is called a ticket dupe. Basically, if you have iframes and you grab a ticket or a rift token, you'll be able to...
Oh, spy!
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
You'll be
no.
able to get 2 tickets instead of 1. So what both players did is they jumped off the top of that very tall building and took fall damage, and then quickly grabbed the ticket.
As long as she's flashing from the damage animation, if you pick up a ticket, she will grab it twice. They also did this on She Came From Outer Space at the beginning, getting hit by a bird and then duplicating the ticket.
In order to actually take fall damage from the tower, you need to do either what's called a SDJ or a DSJ. So SDJ stands for Sprint Double Jump, and it's a movement tech that allows you to maintain your sprint speed and also your double jump. Whereas a DSJ is called a double sprint jump, where you perform a sprint jump off a ledge, and then it resets your jump for a small amount of frames, and you can do another one.
That's an odd decision. Spy decided to aim for the old route, while Suar decided to go for the newest route that was discovered, I think, a week ago or so.
Yeah, it's pretty recent. So basically for this level you want to close all of these faucets by hitting them, and they're pretty far out. So we take a death warp here and there, and we get to a more central position.
Yeah, they also grab what we call a relic. The reason they grab that is because they're gonna use it to craft a relic later on after chapter 3 to get a purple rift that we're gonna do at the end of the run.
So we noticed that Suar did go for a different route. Oh my goodness.
Spy barely making that faucet.
Yeah, so Suar will get the first one that Spy did last. I mean first, he'll do that one last. And it's because he's going to use a mechanic of the game that... how do you explain it? Basically the game has what's called safe spots. And then if you get stuck in a spot where you're not actually able to get out, it will teleport you back to your latest safe spot. So since we didn't touch any of the safe spots on the way down to the faucet, we can teleport back up to the cannon.
Yeah, for some reason the game doesn't think like the faucet as a solid ground. So either even if you stand there, the game will teleport you back to the last solid ground that you were standing. And since Sword jumped from the beginning of the level, he gets warped back there.
So now we move on to the last level we do in Mafia Town for now. We'll be coming back later. But this is the other time rifts that we do. It's another platformer. One thing to note about these types of levels though is that they're on a cycle, and you want to make the best cycle possible. So there's a lot of tight movement.
Yeah, there's only two
on
rifts that aren't on cycle based, but the rest of the rifts, especially the ones that we do 90%, are all cycle based. I spied having no trouble squaring that.
That was a pretty good bazaar. Now we get to talk to the cooking cat. So the runners will jump down to this cooking cat here and she'll explain to you how relics work. So in this game, when you get a specific amount of relics, you can put them together and form like a little sort of, I'd say it would be like a picture sort of.
Yeah. I don't know how to call it. I call it a relic, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's what the game calls it. It's a relic.
Alright, so this is the part of the run that it's like a choke point for everyone, because this trick it's pretty hard to pull off. But it seems like Spy has no trouble doing it. That was really fast too.
Yeah, he hit the ground before 20 seconds. That's really fast. So basically, what they do here is
Suar.
yeah, they have to jump between these trees and perform a sprint jump into another sprint jump into a SDJ, so you get enough speed to make the distance to that branch over there.
This is what
and then
we
once you
call
do
it's natural back skip. It's a trick that saves, I think, around 25 to 30 seconds.
Yeah, because what you do is basically you're jumping over a trigger that, if you played this game casually, you'll know you'll get stuck in a bag, and then the kind of boss of this level will talk to you and take your soul and make you do certain things for him. But we skip all of that if we jump over it.
So the reason Spy was taking damage as well as Suar is because they're gonna pull a Death War up the end. The Death War allows you to... Oh, that painting didn't make it. The Death War allows you to go to Subconwell, which is the next chapter, without needing to go back to Hub and using the telescope.
Yeah, you got it. So the thing about this world is that some of the levels have loading zones into them, even without having to select the chapter. So we can use that to our advantage and enter through different levels to enter a level that we don't have yet.
Yeah. And Spy and Suar are gonna try to pull off this cutscene skip here. Whenever you clean the paintings, there's a little cutscene that plays. The one that just plays on the Spy screen. But if you can delay it enough so it plays at the same time that you're entering the world, so you can sell like 2 or 30 seconds from that.
I don't think Suar goes for it.
Yeah,
he got the cutscene.
He got the cutscene. That's the cutscene I was talking about. Oh, he didn't.
Oh no.
Yeah, that jump can be
getting
quite
to
tricky.
So what Suar's gonna do here is called well dive. Basically the tree and the well. Oh no.
Oh no.
You missed it. The tree and the well are angled to each other in a certain way that you don't bonk anywhere on it, but you will just glide up towards and get some distance. As Spy is finishing the subcon well, utilizing the hookshot that we get here from this chest. There's actually quite a few puzzles we have to solve in this level, but by abusing the hookshot range, we're able to ignore pretty much all of them. So I was not having the greatest of times. Now we move on to mail delivery service. This is one of the levels that pretty much every runner does with keyboard and mouse, because we have to aim and shoot mail at this guy's minions. And aiming with a controller is very slow compared to using keyboard and mouse. Also, we grab one more contract here for the Toilet of Doom. And then we follow a route that has 10 quick mail deliveries. Spy missing one. I think with this world as well is that when we complete a level with a contract, the contract will pop up and we can actually grab the timepiece and then we can use the contract to exit to hub. And it saves a few seconds of the animation that we have. So if you're kind of new or you've watched an older run of A Hat in Time Any Percent, you'll notice that we are doing a level that you probably wouldn't have seen. Oh, Spy falls down. We do the Toilet of Doom now because we found a new quick kill. Basically when he teleports underground, well that might be a bit late. Okay, when he teleports under the ground we can lag the game in a sense and then he won't be able to come back out of the ground and he'll just fall down and be defeated. So we lag the game by changing our environmental detail from anything to anything, and then we buffer a pause so that we resume the game with a few frames of lag. Which then allows the toilet to fall down. And now we enter Toilet of Doom again, but this time we just go backwards and then go to the manor, which has a loading zone without needing the contract. My co-commentator and whose internet has died right now, so I'll be solo commentating for a bit more. So on the way to the manor, we're supposed to do some puzzles. We hit the bells and those things become solid. We grab the cherry and then feed it to the dweller, and then we blow up the ice wall. But it's pretty easy to just jump over all of those ice walls, as you saw. And then we just make our way to the basement, which is the only entrance into the manor. And then from the basement we're able to complete the level in one go through a little bit of a skip. So Vanessa's Manor is a 2-floor horror slash puzzle game. It's actually quite scary. And it takes a lot of time because we can't use our hats and we have to sneak around and avoid Vanessa, otherwise she'll catch us. So by using this skip we can just go straight to the end, which was actually put in by the devs. And then when you enter the attic, you'll see that they jump up onto something and then they jump back off. What they're doing is they're jumping up onto the door and then jumping over a cutscene trigger, which just basically skips about 6 seconds of cutscene as it slowly pans towards the chest. And now we move on to the 2 time rifts of this world because they're very fast to do. What Spy is in right now is called Pipe, and it's actually one of the 2 time rifts which are very cycle dependent. So as you saw, those gears are going up and down. We want to get to the last gear as it's up so we can get that hook shot. But then after that, it's just a simple bit of platforming. and just getting to the timepiece over here. Yeah, as you can see, we do a specific set of movements to be able to get to this gear as it comes down on Suar's screen. And then the gear comes up and we're able to get that hook shot. Oh no, he missed it. Oh, he grabbed it, okay. It's looking very close. Now we head over to Village Rift. As you can see, we enter through a certain act to get to these time rifts. We just enter through the one that's the closest. Unfortunately, there's no close one to Village. So we just enter through either contractual obligations or mail delivery service, as they're basically the same spawn point. Village is pretty linear. There's a few things you can do, like jump on a peg, skip a few blocks, but the main part is actually at the end here, where we hit the bell, or we don't hit the bell, and you can actually jump to the timepiece without needing to hit the bell and go around. Oh no, Suar missed the peg and fell down. That's unfortunate. So this is the final level of Subcon Forest that we do. Your contract has expired. Now, Snatcher's run out of stuff for us to do, so he wants to kill us. We aren't actually supposed to hit him from this spot, but with a very well angled attack, we're able to hit him while he's just standing there. And we hit him to a certain point where he gets a certain attack block, and then we wait till we can actually hit him for real. So after this blue potion attack, there'll be a blue potion that we can use and throw it at him and turn him blue. And then we can hit him one more time and he dies.
Please have a seat.
Now we have to sign one more contract. And then we get our timepiece. You can see on Suar's screen that he's having a lot of an easier time hitting Snatcher. And that's because the resolution actually affects how easy it is to hit Snatcher. So I believe Suar's playing on 720p, that's the lowest one possible. And Spy would be playing on, I assume, 1080. The ease of hitting him changes. So now Spy is gonna go to this little pod here and create a burger. So these are the relics that we picked up, one from the chest in Heating Up Mafia Town and one from the Cooking Cat. And basically what this does is it spawns this purple rift at Mafia Town, which we will complete later in the run. So we move on to the last chapter we'll be going to. Deadbird Studio, not Deadbird Studio, Battle of the Birds. Battle of the Birds starts off as a little sneak mission. Basically the premise of this level is that there are two birds which are movie makers. They're trying to beat each other in movie making to get the 40-second award of this world, I guess. So we infiltrate and we do a few things. We use a death warp there to skip having to use the trolley. And then we jumped onto the electrical box and then jumped over the little background, which skips a very long also scrolling section. Otherwise you would have to be on a very slow moving trolley.
We need to...
Though it does look pretty simple to do, there's quite a little optimization to be made in the level. And now that penguin there, DJ Grooves, wants us to be the star of his show, so he gave us a a bird passport. Now we're officially a bird. Now we move on to Murder on the Al Express. But Suar will actually do picture perfect first. It doesn't matter which way you do it, because you end up doing both of them anyways. And you can't advance without doing both. The Murder on the Al Express is a very long, casual level, but we use a few sequence breaks, and we can make it a lot shorter. So what Spy is gonna do is gonna jump up onto a bookshelf or the door frame, and then onto this button, which you actually aren't supposed to reach until a lot later in the level. For Spy and Picture Perfect, he'll have to collect a certain amount of points. You get points from getting your picture taken, doing endorsements, and greeting your fans. There's a specific route in Picture Perfect that we do, which is just the right amount of points to get the timepiece and Max Diva. So what Spy is doing is he's grabbing a key, and then he uses Death Warp to get back. It's very fast. And then he'll do another sequence break here. He jumped to a button, which you're again not supposed to reach. And he's using the key that he would use for that door down there onto this door, because just keys just work like that in general. You'll notice we didn't actually pick up any evidence, but the game will just also give you the conductor. So now Spy will move on to do Picture Perfect, as Suar is now doing Murder on the Al Express. So after completing both these levels, we have enough yarn to create the final yarn. The final hat, called the Ice Hat. The Ice Hat gives us invulnerability and gives us access to one of the time rifts within the actual spaceship itself. So I'm having a bit of difficulty getting to the key. As I mentioned, there's time rifts within your actual spaceship. This is one of them. This is Gallery. A lot of these are very short and quick and easy to do. Suar is actually having a bit of trouble here. I think he's trying to do a SDJ, but he's getting a sprint jump instead. "28-second gallery, that's very fast." Now Spy is going to do the Owl Express Rift. This is the second rift, similar to Pipe, that's very strict on a very fast cycle. If you miss it, you'll have to wait quite a while for it to move on. So Spy wants to jump off this and dive boost onto that, yep, that third one there, and that's the fastest cycle you can get. But you see the tile was already moving as he got there, so it's quite a strict timing. That's a very fast Owl Express Rift. Very clean. Now Suar will also do the Owl Express Rift as he's finished Gallery as well. And Spy will move on to Train Rush, the final level of Battle of the Birds. Very input intensive and precise in movement level. Naturally, in this level itself, it's a race against the clock. So we also want to do it as fast as we possibly can. So we try to dive boost as much as possible. And then we also have to avoid the rockets and all that. You also notice that he moves very fast on the balloons. They also did that in Gallery, where they sprint jumped or dive boosted into the balloons, and it basically just carries your momentum. Holy moly. Spy just dive boosted onto the panels. It's crazy. this final room with a lot of lava. It doesn't really have a cycle per se, but if you get hit, it can mess you up quite a bit. Because then the rockets will be in your way, and the cakes will be in your way. And once again, they craft the ice hat during a cutscene. So now after Battle of the Birds, they're going to move back to Mafia Town for our final visit. There's 2 levels we want to do here. We want to do the Mafia of Cooks Time Rift, which is spawned right now, and also Cheating the Race, which we unlocked earlier in the run, but we didn't have enough pawns to do it. So similar to Time Rifts, the Purple Rift has a little thing in the main area, so we just jump to it. Oh, he barely missed it. So purple time rifts are a bit different. There's this item called a rift pawn which you want to collect, and then you want to basically have enough to get to the next area, and then you continue that throughout each one. In this room he only needs 3 to get through, I think? No, he needs 4, okay. So there's a certain order you get these pawns in. Suar is now making his way to Mafia Town again as well. Just by picking up both in one jump, that's really good. And then as he jumps in, misses the next one. Now, we use 2 bro hits on the little rift there, as it takes 2 bro hits instead of like 6 or so umbrella hits as it bounces around. Ooh, cookie dough. Now, one thing to note about the roulettes is that they're actually just random, and most of it is cosmetics. So now we're moving on to cheating the race. You'll notice there was a lock on it, which means we don't have the right item we need to complete it. So initially you're supposed to use a time stop hat and slow down time and just beat him like that. But you can actually maneuver in such a way that you can actually beat him without needing the time stop hat. So there's these cannons here that basically connect each side of Mafia Town, and we use it to our advantage and create some mad distance. And with a nice few dive boosts and clean movement, we can get the timepiece before him. You can actually do it both forward and backwards. It's runner's preference. And our spy moves on to the final timepiece of the game before the finale, which is the second time rift in the spaceship. This one has a rather tight cycle as well, but it's not too bad if you miss it. But yeah, optimally it's about a 16-second level. Anything under 20 seconds is quite good. Now Suar is taking on cheating the race. Does he go forward or backward? He also goes backwards. can see it takes a slightly different way than Spy, but it still all works the same. Now we get to control Mustache Girl. And she steals our timepieces and changes the past and the future. So now it's our goal to stop her. So as this is any percent, this finale doesn't unlock until you get 25 timepieces, so we get the 25 quickest timepieces. We're actually not supposed to get to that telescope yet, because we don't have the Dweller Mask. But with a bit of jumping, we can get over the fence.
He's just
And once again, this level had a lock on it, saying we didn't have the right requirements. As I mentioned at the beginning of this race, I did say we were on the 1.0 version of the game, and this is the biggest reason why. There's this little hole there, it's not even a clip, there's just a hole between that little pillar and the wall. So we get through it, we can get out of bounds really simply. And then we can climb up these two very conveniently placed walls and get to the roof. And now we just slide to the very end, skipping all the platforming elements. As much as we'd like to just slide completely to the end, there's a few things we need to watch out for. There's two invisible walls which will make you bonk if you hit them. And there's one gap. So you can see Spy went up and then back down. He did that to avoid the invisible wall, and there's another one here. So the invisible walls work in a way that if you are holding left, you won't bonk on them. So we gain height by going right, and then we can then descend while holding left as well, and we are able to avoid the wall. And we're able to cross the little gap. You probably hardly even saw it on Spy's screen. Oh my. So this is actually very big for Suar. So Spy failed getting up onto the roof again, and that he would have landed in a spot where he would be unable to continue. So he had to exit the hub and go back in. So now Suar might be able to catch up once more. Oh my goodness, he's doing some fancy shenanigans with his camera. So it'll be very difficult to see who's actually ahead right now, because I did take about 2 minutes, or just under 2 minutes of Spy's time. The Suar screen has appeared to have stopped. The Spy is making his way back up again. Onto the slides we go. I believe we're just syncing up the timers right now. So once Spy's time reaches 42:36, Suar's stream will start up again. So once again, Spy is successfully dodging both walls and what's it called? The cap. This is actually a very close race right now. So we'll have a look at what time they get slapped by Mustache Girl. The Spy Spy has now successfully got him back onto the roof, and now he's gonna hit a cutscene trigger and head into the level. Spy got slapped at about 43.16, and Suar will get slapped at about 43.25. So we're 9 seconds apart right now. So in Throne Room phase, Mustache Girl can actually be hit multiple times if you mash the attack button. So we try to do that so that she stops, or we prevent her from doing certain attacks, because we hit her before she'd be able to perform them. And in this first phase of the finale fight, when she's in the air we can actually hit her with the Brewer Hat. We're actually not supposed to reach her. That's why I had a very good first phase. And now also Suar, so this is going to be very close. So this is the biggest part of finale right now. When she has the shield up, we call this cherry phase. And the amount of cherries you need to use in order to get her to the next phase is RNG.
Hello, hello.
Hello, welcome back Enhu. You're on a very important part.
Wow, I missed the
They're
ball.
very close.
This is so close now. Oh my god.
Oh, Spy missed the hit. Oh, he got 2 hits. There's a 3rd hit. This is extremely good RNG. Unfortunately, he didn't get the first hit. Suar got 2 hits. Alright, that's... I've lost count, is it? That's the 3rd cherry for Spy, and the 2nd cherry for Suar. So Spy is now into the final phase, so he won't be able to die, but the speed of which he does the final phase will be very important. Oh my god. How close is it? I can't see the timers, so it's very difficult.
Really close. Like,
This is extremely close.
I think Spy is a little bit ahead though, but it's super close.
It's super close. Okay, I swapped to the birds at 45.37.
Suar might be able to pull it off if he gets a really clean last phase.
He's like 8 seconds behind.
Yeah, if Spice messes up this last phase, then it's over for him.
This
As
last
long
phase
as-
is very hectic.
Oh. Yeah, this last phase can be very tricky. Very, very tricky.
He's gonna go good RNG. He didn't go good RNG. I haven't looked at Suar's screen. This is
not
extreme fast.
looking.
Spy's 1 more hit.
Okay. It's not looking
I think
that.
Spy has barely clutched it out.
Hey, Spy.
Hi.
Wow,
Dude.
that was a really close race. Oh my god.
This is like 15 seconds apart.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
This is
That
fun
was-
for me. I don't even know who won. Oh,
You
okay,
won.
I see it. There we go.
Okay,
You
you
won
won.
by
That was
6
so
seconds.
close. Wow.
6
Yeah.
seconds.
Holy.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Oh
Hey,
my
Suar.
god, did I just fucking lose by like 6 seconds?
Yes. 6 seconds.
Oh my god.
That was
Is this the
so
closest
close.
race we've had? This is insane.
This makes me so mad. Oh my god. I fucked up so much. Dude.
Language.
Yeah. That was a very close race. I'm
Yeah,
so
that
sad
was
that I have
extremely
missed all of it, but okay.
Yeah, Andrew.
I had
These
internet
issues.
issues. Yeah, I had the internet issues like I don't know 20 minutes into the race.
So when I got into finale, I saw that I was about a minute ahead, but then I lost 2 minutes on finale. So what happened to
Wait.
Suar?
Do you fit finale? The slides? Or-
Yeah, I fell off at the end.
Yeah, he fell off
Oh.
at the end and had to exit.
Let me
I think
check.
you were a minute and a bit
I
ahead.
logged in Suar. I failed back skip. I failed well dive. What else?
You bonked
I
a lot.
fall down in village like twice. I failed murder twice. The jump
Yep.
to the key. And that's about it.
You failed the jump to the button in Murder as well.
Yeah,
Twice.
that's what I meant.
Okay. Username says I was 2 minutes ahead, so I'm going to trust him.
Yeah, you were.
It's hard to tell while you're in the race.
What up? GG.
GG.
GG to both players.
I can't believe how close I actually got. Like, you guys got slapped at 8 seconds difference. And then I think you got the same cherry RNG. You got the same Mafia boss RNG as well.
That's good.
Oh yeah, did you cycle as well?
I don't remember, honestly. It was a while ago.
Yeah, kinda.
Solid 45 minutes ago. Oh, so you fell on toilet. That kind of made me laugh.
I thought I'd hit the ground and I'd be able to dive boost, and I didn't. You know,
Oh,
the sad
man,
thing is
I
that's not
missed
the
that.
first time I've done that.
Nice.
I'm so sad that I missed that.
Also, I thought you paused really late, and I thought your quick kill wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, actually, the time for the quick kill is very lenient. Even if you're
Yeah.
too early or too late.
I haven't
Yeah.
practiced enough to really know the time.
As long as-
I just know that
as
time
long as-
works, so I go for it.
Yeah, as long as you buffer the pause, it's very lenient.
Okay. Good to know. Alright, well, I've been up for way too long, so I'm going to head out now. GG, Suar.
Alright. Thank you for
Yeah,
the
Good luck in
GG,
your
good
next
night.
race.
Congrats
Same
on your
for
runs.
you.
So now, on the bracket, Spy will move into winner's semis, and he will face the winner of Doka and Sonic, I believe. Yes, Doka and Sonic Yellow. And that's actually happening in 10 hours. So stay tuned for that. That will be at 9 PM EDT. And then we'll have our top winner's side top 8 finalized. And Suar will go down and play. Where do you
Head.
go?
Wrong.
Yeah, you go and play Headstrong. What do you think about that match?
I don't know. I don't think anything right now.
So sure, slowly but surely we are getting to the end of this tournament. It's been a while. Close to 2 months almost. Oh yeah, do you guys have anything else you want to say?
No.
Watching.
I'm just so sad that I missed the wall run.
You
But
can watch the VOD later.
yeah, I'm gonna watch the bot later.
When did your internet die?
Yeah, I
Died.
have no idea what happened.
At Manor,
When?
I think.
Oh, when? Like, yeah, it did a manner. I know, I think at the end of World.
Yeah, it might have been earlier. Was he disconnected during toilet? Well, he would have lost internet before then.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It happens.
Yeah. Well, good luck on the next of your races, Suar.
Yeah,
Hope to see you in the toppest of 8s.
Hopefully. Yeah, I'm heading off now. See ya.
Yep.
Bye.
And that will do it for us here at Speed Gaming and A Hat in Time. The next time we will be shown is at 9 PM EDT, so in about 10 hours, sorry. So see you then. Been a pleasure, Enhu. Thank you for commentating with me, despite your unfortunate stuff.
I'm sorry about that. But thank
That's
you,
fine.
John, for commentating
Yes.
the war race pretty much.
Alright, with that, we will be done. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.